Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats round and engines climb. Let's broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome, guys, to Nerd TV for another ProSim Racing Alliance Fixed ARCA Series race live from The virtual, newly updated Richmond International Raceway, RIR. I think that's what they still call it anyways. And we're going to go 125 laps here tonight as we get the countdown to green started, presented by Icon Apparel Company. And quickly go over the weather here on the screen. Nice little cool evening. 75 degrees in the sky, 78 on the track. Not too often those temps match up, so that's kind of cool. Low humidity, partly cloudy, and almost no wind, so weather is going to be grippy and fun here with these cars as they go around this place and try to tackle race number 13 of the 2025 inaugural season. And my name, of course, is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. We got Colt Ainsley and then Dustin Loxton pressing the buttons here this evening. Colt, what's up, man?
How's it going, man? It's going pretty good. Or I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent. Very good. As my producer, I say his name finally for the first time in the introduction, and then he turns off his camera. Oh, there he goes. Now I can see. I guess he didn't like the fact that... oh, so the producer blames the link for his Discord stream. I like this. We're starting this thing off hot tonight, guys. Let me tell you. We got a decent lineup here, though. We got 15 drivers. I know we just, me and Dustin partaked in the Talladega race last week, so...
You did.
I don't like the super speedway part, but I appreciate it only for the fact that, Colt, you like to say that these cars have a lot of suck up on the side draft and how it pulls cars around. And we could take your word for it. But when you get in the car and do it, it is impressive how much these cars get loose just from side draft. So learned a lot from last week, and now we can apply it to the broadcast. But it's short track, so it's a little bit different. What's your take on this car at Richmond?
Well, I think that side draft's actually going to have a little bit more effect than we realize. Richmond's going to be a really, really tough place to pass, and seeing how these guys are going to have to get around each other, they're going to have to be really tight on each other's doors. Most likely, I see the passes being around the outside if you can get fresher tires. And there's a chance that you can get somebody loose up underneath you when they go to get back in the throttle. It may not be the air directly, but it will be the effect of having a driver to the outside of you, that psychological effect. So it's going to be a very, very tough race tonight for these guys.
Yeah, 100% there. We do have 2 minutes left in this session. I do believe... No, actually 1 minute left. I got to figure out where these timers are at. They're moved with this new iRacing UI, so I got to remember it's on the same button as drive. And before we go qualifying this and that, this is 9/11, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to, bring that up, but Mr. Steve Radar, a Nerd Esports driver, is rocking a special scheme for tonight. And so he wanted me to make a pitch just to kind of throw it out there, and I was like, yeah, I guess if there's some want for it, we can. And of course this happened 24 years ago, and I think actually NASCAR was at this track, believe it or not, the weekend after that happened, right? So it's kind of just odd that 24 years later we'd call in this ARCA race for ProSim Racing Alliance and just have a randomized schedule and just happens to land on the same track. So it's kind of cool there, but there's that. And it's always, Dustin, actually, you know what? Let's bring you in here for a moment, because I can say that what you just said to me, but you can say that much better.
Yeah. So 9/11 has a meaning to everybody, hits everybody differently. I have been working for TSA now for over 15 years. Obviously, TSA formed due to the events of 9/11. I've held a number of government positions within TSA, to include supervisor. Now I'm a federal instructor. I train individuals to ensure that events like 9/11 don't happen again. So, and it's 24 years. It's kind of tough right now because throughout my over 15 years of government service, we're hitting a mindset to where people are starting to work for the agency that were 3 months old when 9/11 happened, or not even born yet. So the era of the individuals that started working for the government after the events of 9/11 and remember exactly where they were at and everything that unfolded afterwards. They're legacy individuals at this point in time, and they're now hitting retirement age. So it's I always try to, in all my instructor classes that I lead and teach, I always try to emphasize the importance of the job that every government official, not just TSA, has to protect the nation.
Appreciate you opening your mic for that, and it led you to a nice career that you have in the meantime. So yeah, there's that part, and thank you for everyone for the service, this and that. But let's get back to this action on the race, or the qualifying session, and we're going to get our cameras off your screen, by the way. This is midway through qualifying, 3 minutes left in this session. We've been kind of just watching Steve turn lap after lap after lap. He is doing some practice times. He's already posted his 2 laps. He's getting out there 4 current times. Well, Brandon Schumann, okay, welcome to the turn 4 exit wall. And he's going to do a little reset.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt his next lap. I don't know if he had posted one or not, but he is going to have to now only have 1 lap for qualifying because he passed the start-finish line, which means he took the green flag. That gives him 1 shot at qualifying now. So this track is really tough to be. This track's really tough to run at all, but it's really, really tough to be on edge for one singular lap without knocking the wall down. Especially turn 2, that's a corner that never ends. If I didn't see the backstretch, I would fully believe it's a full circle. It's just you're off throttle for so long, it feels never ending. And then for 3 and 4, it feels like you can get into the throttle sooner than you can, almost similar to turn 2, but then you start sliding and you nearly spin out. So Richmond is. It has a love-hate relationship with a lot of short trackers because it doesn't have that groove down on the bottom where you just feel like you kind of slingshot around. Places like Slinger, places like New Smyrna, even Old Bristol, down there jumping down into the canyon where the car just kind of loops around. You're never fully in the track here at Richmond. You always just kind of feel like you're a little bit out of the track, or at least on top of the racetrack with your race car. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun night.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Richmond myself. I can do a pretty good race here. I just, over the long haul, I just get really tight and can't drive it for anything. But this track doesn't. It always surprised me when it comes to the multi-groove surface. I think it was just maybe a month ago. I was watching a truck race here, and these guys are running up on the 3rd groove in the center of 1. And getting a great straight launch off of turn 2 and running some really impressive laps up there. 3 and 4, you kind of run the middle to bottom more so than 1 and 2. And it's impressive how you can go multi-surface on basically a flat track. I think the banking's somewhere between 12 and 15 degrees. There's not too much to help you around these corners. And they're very sweeping. Takes a lot of technical work on the foot and brake combination to get this thing right for lap after lap. 125 laps here. There's probably going to be enough fuel in the tank to run 1 green flag pit stop tonight if they stay green somehow.
I have a very sneaky suspicion that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I tiptoed around that comment, but yeah, you might. You never
I work
know.
Here, so I could say that.
No, there you go. I'll let Colt just bring it to you straightforward. On that notion is I'll let it play out. I'm kind of surprised, Colt. 10 seconds left in qualifying. Only 7 drivers, 7 out of the 16 that are here have posted time. Now, what do you think less than half the field took a qualifying time at a short track where it's kind of hard to pass here?
They're waiting for going into turn 1 on lap 1. Someone's going to overshoot the corner, run someone over. They are waiting for somebody to get in the throttle too quickly on the exit of 2 and knock the wall down. They are waiting for someone to overdrive turn 3 and shoot straight at the track and then try to throttle up on the exit of 4 and spin out in front of the pack. So that's exactly why. And some of them may just be masochistic and want a challenge.
Let's see how that works. We saw on our broadcast last time, it's Stephen Luttrell saying he was going to wreck the field halfway through the race, and that never happened. So let's see if we can see if Cole has it down on his notepad correctly that someone's going to drive turn 1 way too deep and go bowling for soup, as Steve would call that. But here we go. Here's the starting lineup for race number 12, or 13 rather, here, which is the first race of round number 2 of the playoffs. John Freeman and Corey Bigley share the front row. Vincent Short and Derek Runge hold row 2. Steven Rada and last week's winner, Mike Fahey, starts 5th and 6th. Row 4 is going to be Chase Rockford and David Bradford. Row 5 is Dominic Bettini and Keenan Kimber. Row 6, Brandon Schumann, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Row 7, Mark Truxell and Frank Griffith. And row 8, Joshua Ingram, Tom Byrish. That's going to be your 16-car lineup. And since we're talking about playoffs, let's see if they have the points updated here. And it looks like they do have the top 12 set up. I don't know if they supplied us a graph, but expect the big names to be up front here tonight. John Freeman been on an absolute tear recently.
Yes,
If Vincent
and
Short
I do
can,
have that list for you if you need it.
I do have it on the side. I just didn't know if we had it for the fans that are currently watching. I don't want to rail off 12 names because there's 16 of them are in this race, and so almost every single one's a playoff driver. But with that being said, at this point, Colt, you're more in depth with this. I expect a couple drivers to be up front, but who's your top 3 picks in the playoffs to capitalize on a good night tonight?
Well, John Freeman has been on a tear the past couple weeks. It's hard not to put him as the championship favorite right now. Corey Bigley has been fast, but he hasn't been able to close out races the past couple of weeks, as we've seen. John Freeman has taken advantage of that. Derek Runge, sitting back there in 4th, really fast race car driver, really good at saving tires, but has not had very good finishes the entire season. Since he got his wins early in the season, he's struggled. Vincent Short, really fast as well, just hasn't had a chance to shine this entire season. So, but I have John Freeman on my my final 4 for sure, and definitely the championship favorite at this point. Brandon Schumann, he started off the season really well. Kind of cooled down a little bit, but he's getting he's starting to heat back up. Atlanta, he had a really good finish. And his sleeper, I want to bring up that somebody we have slept on all season. We did it when he went and won a race. Is Mark Truxell in that 5 car? Keep an eye on him. He is quiet. Doesn't make a lot of noise. But as we saw at Rockingham, he will just appear out of nowhere and calmly and coolly work his way to the front and straight up kick your butt. There's not a thing you can do about it. So I see him go pretty far as well if he can keep his nose clean.
Yeah, he's got that very long run feel in these cars. And here we go. Green flag is out. This race is officially underway. 125 laps to the end of this thing. Do we have that turn 1 bonsai that Colt was talking about? They space themselves out actually quite nicely here. Off of turn 2. Very clean start. Yeah, 1 car loose in the back. The only green one in the field. Number 71. As he keeps it going straight, exiting turn number 4, the 15, Vincent Short. He slides up to get the top 3 single file. Steve Rada looking underneath. Impressive little start here. Qualifying time pretty good for Steve. He's been about midfield this whole season, but early on he likes Richmond. He kept saying that he's feeling okay about this racetrack. And right now he passes Vincent Short, going to take that 3rd spot.
Yeah, we took him 3 wide there with Derek Runge. But yeah, this is a tire management racetrack. You've got to take care of your stuff. We do have a spinner in 2. Keenan Kimber is around. No caution. Oh, a little bit of contact with Dominic Bettini. How is that?
2 cars stacked up. Yeah. It's underneath the yellow line. That's why.
Usually at a place like Richmond, it's the proximities mess up, and Keenan is stuck. He is trying to get that car going, and they're gonna come around to him, and still no yellow flag. He is right below the yellow line, and no caution.
Our TV replay showing exactly what happened there. 65 slideways underneath the yellow line. Tires spinning as we kick it back one more time.
Oh.
And this is why he loses it. Bonk goes Bettini. There's your turn 1 bonsai. Just happened on lap 3.
Yeah, it took a couple laps for
3
it to get
car
going, but
lengths
it was there.
back.
I told you it was coming.
Yeah, it's 3 car lengths back, and he still ends up getting involved. The 49 does after that. And then the 65 Kina, you mentioned he was kind of stuck. We didn't catch it live on camera, but it took him a whole lap to get off the wall, get turned around so he didn't drive up the track. Kind of scared the leaders, if you would, because it's a blind corner through these things. And by the time you get to the car, he's right up against the bottom of the track. So all stays clean for the leaders, though. We stay green flag. And the field's quickly spacing out Colt.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of getting in line, running their own race. Like I said earlier, this is a tire management racetrack. The first really 30 laps of a run, that's a long time, but you do not want to be burning your stuff up, because if you do, as difficult as turn 2 is, the exit of turn 2 here, as tight as it is with a loose race car, it is undrivably tight whenever you start to lose that right front tire. So everybody's got to be careful. Everybody's got to keep that right front clean. Keep it cool. Keep the right rear cool. As Steve Rada moves up the racetrack a little bit, Vincent Short showing some pressure, and he's got Derek Runge right on his rear spoiler. I think he's getting a little bit of pressure. Side by side here. See how this top line moves, because Derek Runge in the outside wall. We talked about earlier the outside line, possibly prevailing the multi-groove here at Richmond. And Steve Rada holding tough. Derek Runge not really sure which direction to go here.
As Steve looked like he's backing up the 15 and 99s just a little bit. Still holding on to the main. Oh, they go double inside. Derek goes back to the top. Realizes that he was getting that lane blocked by Vincent. Now he goes underneath the 3 of Steve Rada. Side by side, Steve gets a great launch off a turn 4. Vincent takes a really conservative approach. On next, he gets really close, almost makes contact. Steve drives up the track just a touch as he felt the pressure, then gets loose off a turn 2, lightly touches the outside wall. They both slide up the track, doors open on the bottom. Nobody takes it this time. Vincent struggling on that inside lane to make progression happen, getting around the 3.
Yeah, Steve's doing a great job holding on there. Vince is really fast, but man, that was an aggressive block by Vince a couple laps ago where he chased Runge all the way down to the bottom. He knows that once Runge gets past him, he's going to have a hard time running him back down. So 15 spins tires on the exit of 4. But that was an aggressive move 10 laps into a race, and I thought Runge might have shipped him into the next corner if Steve wasn't there. It's a big run for the 15. Looks like the 3 might have got a little bit tight there on exit. Mike Fahey showing up all of a sudden, a little bit of rubbing on the 99's door.
Yeah, this race is heating up as I feel like Steve is just hanging on. Once he's going to lose the spot to the 15, I would imagine the 19 and the 99 are just going to quickly sweep by as well. But it looks like this middle groove. Vincent trying extra hard. He crosses back over the 19's nose. And the first caution on lap 15 is out. Vincent trying everything he can. He overdrives 3, and he does not pay attention to the mirror. And the 19 of Mike Fahey was just there to collect the 15's left rear fender. And here we go. Nerd TV replay has it.
Yeah, you kind of could tell that was coming. The 15 was clearly running out of patience. And I mean, Steve wasn't doing anything wrong racing him. But at the same time, it's also like 15 laps into the race. There's a little bit of give and take. That was just a racing incident. That was not anybody's... it was obviously somebody's fault that there was an accident. But that was a racing incident. I mean, he's trying to maintain his track position for points and doing what he's got to do. And unfortunately, Vince... seemingly as per usual is caught up in it, but I think he'll be okay. His right front fender didn't even look crinkled in at all, so maybe 6 or 7 seconds of damage, and he'll be back rolling again.
Yeah, it's a short track there. As long as there's nothing slamming the outside or inside wall, car contact like that is usually pretty okay and quickly to repair. As Steve really late to get the car on the jacks. He pulls out here. Vincent Short. Gonna drop quite a few spots. Let's see, Joshua Ingram. Yeah, he's staying out. Well, he comes down this time, so he gets the lap lead, comes back down pit road. So technically, that'll be your first lead change and then also second lead change of the night as Freeman takes that spot back.
That's 5
Freeman
bonus
actually,
points for Joshua. That's not a bad move being in the
no,
playoffs and these only 2 race rounds.
yeah, it's a very good move actually, to do that. Good heads up. It's early on in the race. Take the early loss and drop to the back because of that, and then get back to it. I think it's a great call. Um, Also, notate Corey Bigley. He was not letting the 42 leave. He was actually running better lap times than Freeman later in that 15 lap run. So Corey has some speed for the 42, which someone's got to put John Freeman, not in first place, right? This guy's been just on an absolute mission to win every race, trying to anyways, and Corey's trying to stop that here tonight.
Yeah, so far John's biggest competition has been himself this season, and I talked to Corey a little bit last week, and he said that he was really excited for Richmond and for Bristol coming up. That he, those are his type of places, and that Richmond, especially this cooler, grippy Richmond, fits right into his wheelhouse. So let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is and run down this 42 car.
Yeah, we're gonna find out here in a half a lap what this restart looks like. Very clean first opening lap of the restart. It took 3 laps for some issues to happen. And here we go. Pace car's going to be off. The same 2 guys are going to start at the front row. 42-28. Expect Freeman to get a similar launch here. Leads him off a little early for the green flag to fly inside the restart zone. John picked up on that perfectly. They already get to turn number 1. He's got a 2+ car length advantage. Derek runs the 99. Is going to have a good chance to maybe pass Corey here for second. Oh, as the 19,
Fahey.
Mr. Fahey.
What a save.
Absolute awesome save. But in return, he's going to lose 5+ positions.
I think he would take that over what the alternative was going to be. You don't get many chances to do that at Richmond and not end up on the hook.
Yeah, this track, as you know, there's a wall everywhere, and it's kind of like Dover, if you will. It's Nerd TV Replay has the save of the season, and 2 car length spaces away from slamming out an inside wall. So great driving there by Fahey to keep it off that thing. And it's time to play the catch-up game, a little bit of recovery. It's a lot of work ahead of him.
Yeah, and that wasn't just a loose off, what a good save, whatever. That was, I could read the track limits network on his quarter panel. It was that sideways from a dead-on shot. I could read what his sponsor was on the rear quarter panel. So that was a incredible save. Hopefully, it didn't look like he smoked his tires too much. So, and Fahey is a good long-run racer from what I've gathered about him. So we'll see how he does running these guys back down. But Derek Runge is on the charge. Was able to get the jump on Corey, and now running 42 John Freeman down.
Yeah, kind of impressed here. Derek was a little bit further in the pack, on that first launch, and got stuck behind the number 3 and the 15 as they're running side by side. Now, with air on the nose and no traffic minus the race leader, Derek Runge's car has come to life. Early pressure on Mr. Freeman, keeping it within a half a car length, because you got the raceepi.com race telemetry on your right-hand side of your screen. Looking to the inside, first pass attempt of the evening. Great entrance, puts a little pressure on the 42 to move up the track. Drag race to the line. Freeman's going to get it this time on lap 24. Not firing off on 25. He drives it in deep and able to clear Derek into 1.
That was a good entry there, forcing the 99 to lift early and still being able to run his full entrance into the corner for the 42. But and I thought Derek was going to get in there, kind of get a little bit of a nudge, and looked like just kind of the air forced the 42 up. And but he's there. I mean, he's in his mirror. John Freeman knows Runge's there, so we'll see. Looks like 99's going to kind of back off, cool his tires back down. He knows that John Freeman's looking in his mirror, and he's definitely faster at this point in the run. Oh,
Going to the outside now. Derek sees the opportunity with a good jump off of turn 4. Crossover, going to see if the 42 washes up. He does not. Derek has to give up that run. But now he knows that's in his back pocket, as maybe the outside might be the way to go for this pass. He's clearly faster, Colt. He just has to figure it out. Got to do some homework. What lane does he have to choose to pass John Freeman?
right now he's watching the rear spoiler of John Freeman's car because he's been a little bit loose off of 2. And the reason he got to the outside there out of turn 4 was Freeman spun the tires a little bit, got a little bit loose, and rather than check up and try to cut below the 42, he just jumped to the outside. He kept his run going, and before Freeman even had a chance to lift off the gas, get the tires rehooked up to the racetrack, he was already there. So I think 42 might be feeling a little bit of pressure, might be pushing the car a little bit, and yeah, he's gonna... John Freeman is doing one of 2 things. We've seen him do this before. He's either backing up the 99 to the 28 and keeping them right on his door and going just fast enough to not be passed, or he is starting to struggle. He's starting to lose a little bit of grip there, and the 99 and 28 are just pacing themselves to make their move.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see in the next 20 laps how this battle for the race lead looks, if the 42 is going to fall off, or if he finally, presses the go pedal and starts to pull away from these guys. You never know with Mr. John here, as he's continuing to lead every single lap of the first 30. We're going to take this thing to turn up the tunes. We're going to listen to cars go around Richmond, turn down for our voices for a moment. We'll be right back. about a third of the way down in the race number 13, or round 2, race number 1 of the inaugural PSRA Pro Sim Race Alliance Fixed ARCA Series race. And, well, 42 of Freeman, Colt asked the question, is he going to do this normal John thing, or is he actually struggling? Well, I think Colt, he's doing his normal John thing. He pressed the go pedal, and he's got this nice large lead all of a sudden after being pressured for 20 laps. He was just schooling the field.
Jeremy, do you know how I hate being right?
Well,
because now
I
John's
like
just
being
going
right.
to run off
Tell
into
me.
the sunset. As long as he doesn't have to shift gears, he's just going to run off into the sunset. And I hope Derek's saving a little bit here.
Well, great news. The sun is already set. John Freeman's just now catching up to the sunlight with how fast his car is. And what's that, about a 10 car length advantage? Corey Bigley is slowly creeping up on the 99 of Runge, but right now it's a 1-car show. We've had the camera kind of focused on the main leaders because that's really all the action that's on the track right now. Is I think we got this pass here. Steve Rada getting loose around the 19 of Fahey. Into turn 1. Let's see if he can make the pass this time around. Steve gives tons of room. Good
He's been
launch
going
off
at it for a
exit,
couple
though.
of
Look at
laps.
that. Yeah, try to straighten up that exit, which is very good to do if you can make it happen.
Frank Griffin to the inside.
Thought he wanted to.
I think he wanted to, but the racing gods decided that was not going to be the best entrance and allowed the 19 and the 3 to get a good entrance into the corner there. As they are still battling. They've switched places now, switched lanes, but they've been going at it for a handful of laps now. And Frank's just like, you two need to sort your stuff out because I'm trying to go and I don't know which lane to pick.
He's just doing what he wants out here. Having some fun in mid-pack. Steve no longer part of the playoffs, but still holding a pretty good race for himself here tonight. Frank trying, he gets a little tight there, pushes Steve wide. He has to check up. That's going to allow the 19 of Mike Fahey to really just shoot past these guys to get himself into a very comfortable spot on the track where he can just focus straight ahead. Now here's the pass effort once more. Let's see if he can do it in turn number 1.
And a quick correction there, Steve is in the playoffs, so he is racing for points right now. And,
Is
he is, yes. And
I thought he lost
so
it last week.
no, he was able to hang on to it, and new round, so everybody evened out, and it's basically everybody starts at 0, and so he's trying to make the best he can tonight, and to try to get a good cushion going into California and see what he can do to move on to the next round, to the round of 8.
Steve set some records last week. Me and Dustin raced, so we did not have a broadcast because of that. And so when he had wrecked, when he flipped for the second time in 10 laps, I think he said something about his chances were done. He needed this spot and he couldn't get there. So I just counted him out because I thought he knew what position he was, but I guess he made it. So that's kind of cool. Just to confirm that on my screen as well. So yeah, he's trying everything he can to do it. It's just the long run's eating him up alive. He's just getting passed and passed. He's got to change something up on that throttle to brake ratio to get this car to rotate for a longer period of the run. But we're getting really close to the halfway mark. About 10 laps left basically until we get there.
Yeah, and I think what might help Steve on the long run there is I mean, as you and I both know, running Dover, we say Dover or Phoenix or places that have high tire wear, running side by side chews laps off of your tires. So anytime you are side by side with another race car, double your tire wear, at least. And so every time I've seen Steve tonight, he has been side by side with somebody. So he's essentially doubled his tire wear. And while he's affected other race cars around him, and they've lost tire wear, he has been the most consistent about it. So that could contribute to the lack of turn and forward bite for him on the exit of corners here. But as we have a change of hands for third place, Derek Runge really falling off.
Yeah, a little bit of a slip up in speed here. Schumann takes that third place as he is now trying to go right for Corey to get second place. A little bit of a long run setup here for the 52. When I say setup, say that loosely because you can only change a couple things, right? Brake bias and steering ratio is about all you get, I do believe, in these ARCA cars to fiddle around with. Steering ratio, that's just driver preference, but that brake ratio, getting around Richmond for rotation, that could play a pivotal factor in how well you do in this race. Corner exit, that's on you with throttle, but braking on entrance, sometimes that makes the car way too tight, way too loose, or just perfect, depending on what kind of throttle input you have with it. And some people actually, Colt, you can tell me if you do or not, but some people probably even do the double at the same time, throttle and brake, both going into the corner.
Yeah, I haven't toyed around with that a whole lot. I don't have enough talent to do that, but I will say, you would think with having that big sweeping turn one entrance that you would want a lot of front brake into it. That way you can roll into the brakes and the car would rotate and you would get going. But that will burn your tires off so fast. So a lot of what I've seen in the fixed setup is every track that I would expect to have a lot of front brake in it, or like a lower percentage, it's all the way to 65%, the maximum that we're allowed. You would think, there's several times I go to places I'm like, yeah, it'll probably be 40 all the way down. It might be 50. Nope, it's all the way back to 65, and it's because of the way the tires are wearing. You want to brake in a straight line. You want to get that car slowed down and roll through the center of the corner, and that's what's going to maximize your tire savings. So a lot of these guys, and you can see with the splitter, if they are saving tires, they are going to be braking on the straightaway, and they're going to be off the brakes and rolling back into the throttle by the time they hit the apex of the corner. You can see it especially on the backstretch. You'll see them braking, and they'll point the car down to the bottom of turn 3. That splitter will slam into the racetrack, and then they will just, right about the time they start to turn, they will lift off the gas or lift off the brake and just roll the center of the corner.
Now,
really tough to do.
Two notes on that. One, that's road course mentality. You kind of have to apply that here at Richmond, even though you got more banking than a road course. But you, especially in Formula One, you don't press the brake and the gas in the same sequence ever. You brake on the straightaway, you roll center, then you throttle on exit. That's always how it is on road courses, even with like the sports car stuff, GT3, IMSA, WEC, that kind of thing. So there's that of it. So that's kind of cool that they apply some of that technique into this. And then 65% to me, Cole, sounds like a lot of front tire heat, which sounds tight. And I am terrible with a tight race car. So if it's me, I'm probably rolling at 52%. I'll take the looseness and be a little hesitant on entrance just to secure a center roll of rotation and keep the front tire cool. Oh man,
no. Too.
Where's the caution? There it is. Caution.
There it is. Back it down.
64. Oh, Steve. Ooh, Steve almost crossed over John Freeman, the race leader. And here we go, Nerd TV replay to see the second caution on lap 65. What happened here?
So, I saw it happening live, and I couldn't say it fast enough. It looks like Steve just kind of rolled the center a little quicker than the 49 was. Bettini about had it saved, and then he just overcorrects when the car weight shifts, and then there's nowhere for Tom Barish to go. Runs straight into the back of the 3 car. And rips that whole front bumper. Oh, it's back now. Knocks the whole rear end of the 3 car off. Steve's spoiler is shot straight up in the air. It looks like the only one, man, that could have been bad for John Freeman. It looks like the only one who had to tow was Bettini. And I don't know if he got engine damage from that contact or if he was just frustrated, because you see he has some front end damage already.
Yeah, Steve called it up on the radio. He said this one's on me. He clearly knew it. And Freeman has disconnected from the session. So your first DNF of the race. There's a couple of drivers who did not start, but he's the first one to, I think, park it from starting tonight's race. We're going to take a quick picture-in-picture commercial break for the first time here as these guys get them all stacked back up. And we'll be back for the drop of the green flag. back to green flag, lap 69. A very nice lap underway here as they get single file pretty quickly in the top 3. Brandon Schumann drives it in deep into turn 2, or 1 rather. He's going to give that to Corey Bigley. Oh, Corey saves it. Oh, man, great work on the throttle to keep that thing from dumping over to the inside of the back straightaway area. Turn 4, complete first lap since the race start. And look at Freeman taking the early launch. Oh, no,
Josh
no, no,
Ingram.
no. Great braking. Thankfully, the grass
Keeps it
has
off.
grip. There we
No
go.
caution though. He spun down to the inside. No caution for him there. As trying to figure out what happened here. We have Derek Runge is battling with the leader, John Freeman, but I'm showing him scored a lap down or fighting to stay on the lead lap. I had heard there was an issue for a passing under yellow, and he got a black flag and then got a black flag cleared. And I'm not entirely sure what happened, how he got in that situation. I don't know if maybe he was doing a pass-through penalty and didn't catch up to the back of the pack, but he is not the leader, even though he's leading the line on track here. John Freeman is the race leader, and the 99's trying to run away.
Actually, I just went back and watched it replay-wise. He had a penalty of some sort entering pit road. Didn't see what he did wrong. May have been speeding, I'm not sure. But anyways, he tried coming back down pit road. That didn't work. It didn't clear. So then, instead of waiting the full lap to then get your penalty cleared, he checked up the back couple of drivers. They took the green flag and he dipped down pit road before he, got to the front stretch. So he had to take the penalty on a green flag. He technically did, and now he's fighting to keep this spot, which right now, doing a good job at it.
Yeah, he's able to run away from the 42 there, as we have a battle back there with Mark Truxell and Mike Fahey. They've been going at it since the restart, just side by side. And I was going to mention Mark again. He lost the position to Vince on that long green flag run, but he was tracking down the top 3. That long run speed I had talked about earlier. If we get another good long run here, he's going to be one to watch. But right now he's making Mike Fahey's life pretty miserable running that extreme top line there. Mike moves up the track just a hair, trying to get a little bit of a bigger arc, maybe push the 5 into the marbles.
Which we've not seen too many cars do the outside lane here tonight. So the marbles are indeed stacking up on that second and third lanes, respectively. Single file they go momentarily. Cycling back through, here's your top 3, specifically second and third place. Here's Brandon Schumann. It was Corey Bigley the first restart, or the first initial start. And then it was Derek Runge battling on the second attempt at the green flag. Now for the third attempt, it's now cycled to the 52 of Schumann. What kind of speed can this man carry on the short run? I know the long run belongs to the 42, but what can Brandon do on the short run?
Yeah, and Schumann didn't even start on the front row. He was the inside of the second row, and the 28 didn't get a very good restart, and Freeman did, and the 52 of Schumann was able to get a good jump following the 42, and was able to pass Bigley there, and as we almost go 3 wide with Truxell and Fahey, they are back at it again, and look who is sitting back there. He has been watching battles all night long. We got Frank Griffith just hanging on and trying to figure out what lane to go in. We've seen this before. Getting a good look at those Mustang rear bumpers.
Man.
Fahey slides up the track just a little bit. They're 3 wide on the exit of 4. That's never going to end well. Keeps it clean.
Mike's been trying, man. This is, or actually not Mike. Yeah, Mike Fahey. He's been trying. He's slid the corner past couple times here, trying to do anything over Mark and just cannot make it happen. Back to single file once more. Frustration maybe set. Oh, a little block there from Truxell to take away the inside early. That's not going to help the 19's mentality trying to get around Mark. As this battle continues to fire off the last start of the race.
Yeah, sorry to keep jumping in, but especially the way that turn 3 is, the entrance of turn 3 is shaped. When you go to forcibly remove a person from your lane, you need to do what's called squaring up the bumper, which is where you want to hit them as square as possible to boot them out of the way without spinning them out. And Richmond, turn 3 Richmond's the prime place to do that because you have to drive in essentially dead straight. And so yeah, blocking to the inside of the turn 3 at Richmond's um, not an overly good move unless you plan on being able to run away or have a lot of faith in the guy behind you. But I think I don't know that Fahey's overly heated. He's a pretty calm driver, and so is Truxell. You don't ever hear Truxell get upset about anything. And so I feel like they understand it was just hard. It's hard racing, and short track tempers will flare pretty quickly. And it looked like the 19 might have squared up the 5 just a bit, but decided to let him go and play the long game here.
As we're taking some drone camera shots around this 3/4 mile facility on this fine Thursday evening here, and now going to reattach it back to the 54's roof as we're still looking on board the best battle on the track. Frank at any moment can strike and take this position for the 19 as he's starting to slip away from Mark Truxell just a little bit. Here comes the inside attack. Well, the 19's going to put a little block on that entrance. Can't really do the bumper contact there because of the turn-in way early. But yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. Turn 3 at Richmond, that's probably one of those corners you just should not block drivers because, yeah, squared up can be very easily done and ship them to the high side with no problem. Good paddle right here. Second and third up for grabs. Right now, momentarily, it's going to belong to Brandon still.
Yeah, Schumann hanging on tough there. Right now, he's battling 2 cars because the 15 running the outside and then the 28 running the bottom. He's trying to figure out which car is faster, almost like a super speedway race, blocking the line that has the momentum. And as we see the 15 of Vincent Short fall in line behind Bigley there. So yeah, you can tell the 52 has fallen off just a bit. He's fallen away from the leader, but fast enough that the 28 can't quite get by him. And frustratingly so for the 28, and the 15 is pushing the 28 down the front straightaway there. See 15 back off the entry of his corner to try to get a straight run off. Hopefully, Fahey smacks the ball pretty hard, but he had shoved him off into the corner there, and I think he was trying to see if he would overdrive the corner, just having that pressure behind him, and that's why the 15 backed off so quickly, was to see if he could get a straight line run while the 28 was still recovering the car. But Bigley did a good job slowing his car down and not having any issues. His 52 gets loose.
Schumann hang on to it. P2 up for grab. Oh, speaking of loose, Mike Fahey as well. Frank gets the pass, and then Fahey gets loose. Now he has enough speed still to get underneath the inside of the 54 momentarily. Does not make it happen that time. And after this corner set, he's most likely just going to have to coast for a little bit as he gets real close to that back bumper, putting on some huge pressure. And then battle for would be the race lead. Derek Runge is finally has the speed to keep up with John. So he's going to lose that battle to hold on to the lead lap. 99 goes back to 1 lap down. That's kind of a big moment right there.
Yeah, that is not good news for Steve Rada. He was hanging on for being the lucky dog, first car lap down, but now that Runge just got it, if there is a caution, Brandon Schumann goes really wide, smacks the ball pretty hard. 28's going to carry the momentum into the corner, and but the 52 hangs tough out there. New second place.
Yeah, really fast car right now. Just got the looseness seems to be striking quite a few drivers out here, Cole. Especially turn 2, I've seen just a lot of cars just wiggle back and forth for a moment. Turn 4 usually has the tire spin, but they seem a little more gripped up, or a little tighter on that exit for whatever reason. How the setup is just performing. See a little bit more looseness there by Bigley. That's just almost every lap I'm seeing a car shift to the bottom in some shape or form. To watch turn 4. Well, I say that Brandon gets a little loose, but not terrible. As now we're definitely into the last third of the race on lap 94. Let's go to 125. So just a couple more laps and we'll have 30 to go.
Yeah, it looks like these cars are suffering from that tight loose that I talked about a few weeks ago, where the rear of the car is wanting to rotate, but the front isn't. Which is, that's what a tight condition is. But when typically it's the front of the car doesn't want to turn, and so it pulls the whole car with it. Whereas with a loose, the rear is pushing the car around. And but in this situation, you get both, and you don't get the best of both, you get the worst of both. The turn 2, the front doesn't want to turn, and it's pulling the rear of the car around, and you can't get the traction down, and when you do, it upsets the front and tries to spin it out. And then on the exit of 4, you have almost the opposite situation. The car is really loose and you're spinning out, but then when you go to correct it, the car just goes straight to the wall, like we saw Brandon Schumann smack the wall pretty hard on the exit of 4.
As we're on lap 97 now of the scheduled 125. This race has kind of flown by quick. We've been live on YouTube for 36 minutes. 125 laps at Richmond can go by in a hurry if there's not too many cautions. We've only had 2 of them. Dustin made me had a correction at 57 minutes, but for some reason my YouTube is stuck on 36. So I guess I'll have to take that note there. I guess it's almost 10 o'clock, so that makes sense. But thank you, YouTube, for falsely reporting time. Race has been pretty clean regardless, though. Caution on lap 15 and 65. We're now right next to lap 100. It's flying by kind of quick here, as the field's really just spaced out. If we can turn on the iRacing iFlag track map, we can kind of showcase what that looks like. Half the track almost is being consumed so far.
Yep, half the track, but seeing that they're all spaced out, they're all pretty much far enough away that you can see the individual numbers, and so that tells you, you got at least a couple of car lengths between each car, and everybody's just trying to run their race right now. You got a handful of lap down cars, you got the battle for the lead, but they're trying to start working their way through lap traffic. They've already gone by Chase Rockford, now they're going by Josh Ingram, as Josh runs that Kyle Larson line all the way up at the top of Richmond. I don't know that that's going to work. I know he's letting them by, but that is going to start spreading marbles down to the lower lanes, as he's going to be picking them up on his tires and then depositing them on the straightaway. Those are going to be picked up on the straightaway by the leaders, and then into the corner they are going to be deposited and start their life cycle all over again, as they're going to have to work their way back up the racetrack. So that's going to be interesting to see if that changes the handling on these cars.
24 laps remaining. We'll see how these cars perform here at this part here, as Derek runs right behind the 42, slides it into the turn 2 outside wall, keeps it going perfectly straight. Right after that contact, one car exiting pit road. That's Tom Barish. Well, he's actually coming back on pit road. That car has been injured from the wreck on lap 65, so he's continuing to get repairs down to that machine. You see him on pit road right now. Kind of a good battle still. Yeah, as he foregoes that pit stall for whatever reason. Now he goes to the right pit stall with his actual crew members there. But it's still second and third place really up for grabs. Schumann and Bigley, this is probably the best battle on track, and at any moment, one mistake from the 28, it could be all Schumann's position. Bigley's been loose. He's just kind of fighting it right now, and doing a good job doing so.
Yeah, and I watched Derek Runge come out of the exit turn 2, and the thing about it was there was no rotation in that car. He was sliding from the moment he hit the gas to the moment he hit the wall. Car was straight. He just was sliding out of the corner. So his car is really falling off. His bid to try to stay on the lead lap there is not going well for him. But on the bright side, he's for him at least, he is the first car lap down, like I said earlier. So caution comes out, he'll get a free pass and be able to pit with the leaders and get right back in line with everybody. So, but the 52 is Schumann, really loose. Now, I think this is the longest green run we've had all night, so this is the worst these cars have handled. Even though they're lighter on fuel, theoretically they drive a little better, but they are not up to what these drivers are wanting. If they are able to make adjustments, they would be screaming at a crew chief right now to get this thing to rotate and not slide on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, do anything. Change that brake bias if you need to just make it drivable at this point. A lot of the guys are feeling the same way. It's a fixed setup series here on these Thursdays, so you're just kind of doing what you can with the brake, get the car controlled. Maybe if you're a driver for Sunday, like you, Colt, you're taking notes on how this car reacts to short run versus long run. I know you're only doing the guesswork because you're not driving, But the guys that are driving double duty this week, they're learning quite a bit.
Yeah, they're learning how not to build a setup. That is for sure. It's pretty
100%.
typical for a iRacing fixed setup race. But we can only rag on the sim for so long before you might get banned. It's not like John Freeman where we can nag on him until he wins the championship. So, but I mean, he's really checked out. Oh yeah, it's it's Dustin in the or you're saying he's gonna rag on him, but he's got a 3.25 second lead. He's just out there cruising right now, passing the lap cars whenever he can, not getting any trouble from them. He is on cruise control right now. And Corey Bigley, I'd imagine, is a tick frustrated right now. He was talking about how fast he felt like he was going to be here. He's probably trying to figure out what he's missing to John Freeman, who is just far and away has been the best car the past handful of weeks.
Can never make everyone happy. That's what I just heard from that. 14 laps remaining now. And these lap times are sitting, what do we got? 22-second laps, 21 and a half, 22. That's kind of been the average in this. So it's just over, or just under 3 laps a minute. So that's going to blow past real quick here, just under 10 minutes if we stay green flag, which it has all the makings to do so. Colt, you said could be a lot of cautions tonight. Are you kind of surprised on how much lack of cautions that we've had here so far?
In a good way, yeah. I'm a little bit surprised. As you have Frank Griffith battles with Mark Truxell there, but I was expecting a handful of early cautions, and then I was expecting a pretty much green flag run to the end. Maybe enough to where they would need to pit for a green flag pit stop, but I was expecting 2, 3, maybe 4 cautions early on. Everybody trying to figure out the race car, short track tempers flaring, and then everybody cool back down. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised that we've only had 1 caution, 2 cautions for incident, as everybody has really minded their P's and Q's tonight, really taking care of their race cars. And the cautions we've seen, they're not egregious. It's just little short track mistakes that we've seen. So definitely some good racing by these guys tonight, even if it is, it's been difficult to pass. A lot of side by side, which is great to watch, but difficult for the drivers to pass. Some big gaps in the lineup as Derek Runge has been loose out of 2 as he lets the leaders by. He's been loose out of 2 pretty much every time I see that car.
Yeah, I think half the field is chasing the car up the track of turn 2 to not spin it out, and then they subsequently just hit the outside wall doing so. Corey Bigley just did that in second place, but we're kind of looking at maybe Vincent Short trying to get a podium finish. He's just a couple car lengths away from Brandon Schumann with 8 laps to go. He showed a little bit of sign of speed, 20, 30 laps ago. He kind of cooled off, but he's back at it. What's the odds that he can get himself into P3?
I would hope that they are good because he has had an abysmal season. I mean, it seems like every caution that there has been, he has been involved in it, most of which through no fault of his own. So I'm trying to decide mentally if he is on kill right now, trying to get to Brandon Schumann and get that podium, because I don't think he's had a podium pretty much all season, or if he's just content with 4th right now and be like, look, this is what I've got. This will almost lock me into the next round as long as I don't get in a wreck early on at California. So he's trying to decide what to do there, and I think Schumann's trying to run away. He feels the pressure a little bit. I feel like he's pushing the car slightly. He's smacked the wall, or not smacked the wall, but he's clipped the wall pretty much every lap, the last handful of laps. But the guy that I think is really frustrated and pushing the car is Corey Bigley. He is. It seems like he has been just fighting with the race car rather than letting it roll, letting it do what it needs to do. It seems like he's been fighting the race car, trying to get it to go faster, and he hit the wall pretty hard a couple laps ago. That right front suspension can only handle so much of that. So he's got a 2nd place. He just needs to calm down and run his line here.
Couple impressive numbers I'm looking at as thing closed down in the final couple of laps. Brandon Schumann, who's in 3rd place, started in 11th. Mark Truxell, who's in 5th, started 13th. Frank Griffith, who started 14th, is now in 6th. So 3 drivers making crazy amount of moves up the pylon to get where they are with just 3 laps remaining. They maybe should have qualified. They might have had a better chance of getting a podium finish, except for Brandon Schumann, who's currently just doing just that. No one's touching Freeman. Corey's had a fantastic car. And 2 laps remaining now. 1.5 miles left. It's all to this guy who is owning the back half of this opening season for ProSim Racing Alliance. 3 and 4 for the second to final time. 1 lap to go, presented by absolutely nobody. John Freeman, ready to take yet another checker flag.
He has been just absolutely perfect the last couple of races. He won, 3 straight? This will be his, I believe, 5th win of the season. So, putting on a pretty dominant performance. He was fast early in the season, but didn't get the finishes he deserved. And here he comes. He's going to get another one here tonight.
Yet another win. And actually is going to be the 4th win of the 2025 season. He had that 3 in a row. And then remember, he still can't look away from Watkins Glen. Forever will be in the books on that one. But just a dominant performance, minus the first pit stop, Colt. That was the only lead change. No green flag pass for the race lead at all. That's just how dominant John was here tonight.
Yeah, he was just absolutely flying tonight. Clearly the best of the best. No one was touching him. Unless he made a mistake himself or had an incident, there was really nobody gonna get to him and make a pass.
He's doing a very interesting celebration here. No burnout on the front. Gonna just kind of cruising on the back. Are we gonna set up for it? I like to do a burnout by just throw it fast as I can off of turn 4 and slide it through the infield. What does John have in store for the burnout? Or is he just gonna park it? There we go. Oh, don't turn to the outside. You know that doesn't. There he goes. Finally. Gonna burn it down here. We're gonna go over the unofficial results of tonight's first race of the round of 2. And he gets so close. Does not hit it. Man, oh man. He knows by now what that rule looks like. But Freeman, Bigley, and Schumann is your top 3, with Vincent Short and Mark Truxell in the top 5. 6 through 10 is Frank Griffith, Mike Fahey, Derek Runge, Chase Rockford, and Joshua Ingram. Then everybody else, 11 through 16, Steve Rada, Tom Barish, Dominic Bettini, Keenan Kember, David Bradford, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. rounds out the 16 car. Unofficial results, as we're going to try to bring in these top 3. Colt, what's your impressions of tonight's race at Richmond?
Definitely impressed tonight. You had talked about the guys moving through the field, working their way up to the front, and they didn't do it on attrition. There was only 3 DNFs tonight. The David Bradford and Bobby Hamilton Jr., obviously the admins, they didn't start the race, even though Bobby had practiced. But there was only 3 DNFs. And those guys were able to, as difficult as it was to pass, they were able to work their way up cleanly, and get towards the front of the field and get a good finish. And shout out to Vincent Short, finally closes out a race here, as like I said earlier, an abysmal season to start out with, but looks like he might be able to turn it around. Got a clean finish tonight, and see if he can carry that momentum into California.
Top 3 is lined up, man. Let's get to it. Post race, presented by Victory Fuel. And first one on the docket, number 52, Mr. Brandon Schumann. Brandon Schumann, this is Jeremy and Colt in the booth. What's going on, man?
What's going on? How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing good, man. It's good to hear your voice again. P3 tonight. You did not qualify, so you started in 11th. Do you wish you had qualified? Because your car seemed pretty fast.
You know, I struggled in qualifying. Obviously, I saw it on the broadcast, and I was like, oh, well, embarrassed. So, from there, I'm kind of glad I didn't qualify, because I had to redeem myself and I had to go put on a show for all the people and you guys.
You didn't take a single lap though. You could have just you had the chance to reset, you had the time, and you just said, "Nope, I'm gonna wait till the race to tear it up," which you didn't actually. Ran a very good clean race. How was the car feeling out there? A lot of cars loose off of turn two, especially. Were you kind of experiencing the same thing? And just how was it overall?
Yeah, so back to qualifying really quick. So lap one, I actually looped it out of 4, coming to the white, and then I had to reset and take the white flag again and come into the checkered, nailed the wall off of 4. So from there, I had to basically reset. But the car overall, late in the run, started handling a little loose, but we had that late caution to kind of reset almost around like halfway, and from there I was able to just kind of freely just let the wheel just do its thing.
All right, man. Well, good stuff here tonight. Very clean race. Only 2 cautions at Richmond for 125 laps. We expected more. Some of you guys did a pretty awesome job out there overall. Floor is yours though, man. Before we let you go, any shout outs or thoughts for this evening?
Yeah, just gotta shout out my parents for always tuning in every week. Not sure if they're watching tonight. Um, uh, gotta thank John Freeman for always keeping me updated with how I'm doing throughout the race, always helping me make sure my car's fast throughout practice. And gotta thank Ryan Chapman for being team owner, allowing me to come aboard and do this. And last but not least, I want to thank you guys for always throwing on a great broadcast. Can't wait to come back and watch this tomorrow morning.
All right, man. I appreciate your time there. Congrats on P3 again. And go get them next week for the second race of round of 2.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
Yes, sir. I said round of 2. I just meant round 2. I know what I'm doing up here. This is fine. All right, Cole. I'm going to bring in second place here, Mr. Corey Bigley. I think you got some questions lined up for him. Here he is.
Core Bigley, it's cold up here in the Nerd Tudes booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got you.
Well, it looks like we're back for our weekly Corey Bigley second place podcast. How how was your race tonight? You seemed pretty fast, but it looked like you were just kind of missing just something that the 42 had. What were you missing there to get back to the 42 and fight for the lead?
It's so hard to get like when you're. I have to get by when you're second. It's hard to time. I almost timed the beginning right because I had the green and he didn't go and I went and almost had him. I didn't have him clear, but I had a quarter car on him. But it's so hard up top there early because I knew you're a little loose and the tires are not warm, and that's why I kind of just rolled and rolled behind him. The getting in a one. It's just
Mhm.
like, and then you start up top and it's so hard to know when to time him when he's going, and it's like I said, it's wider too, and it's hard to time them. And I can't, you can't time it, and but you still, I fell back to third because I couldn't get the timing right on the
Mhm.
restarts. It's just timing here, and it's so hard to pass. I have to wait laps to get by the guy in front of me that's burning his stuff up.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was, fighting. You could get side by side, but it was just no matter what lane you were in, you were going to be there for a little while, and you might as well get comfy because the passing was difficult. It was achievable, but difficult. So yeah, it was fun to watch. You had a handful of good battles there. Does we had talked about the difference in the fix and the open. Did you learn anything going through the race tonight that you can take and apply to your setup for Sunday's race?
Yeah, we can. Like I said, we haven't practiced yet. I've been busy working on real cars. And like I said, I haven't had time to do
Mm,
it, and I run other leagues on Monday too. That's the only hard part. And yeah, we haven't had time to do it, but like I said, I know this track really well, and I like it, and we should be pretty good because me and him really are short track guys, and we should be pretty good here. And we ran here pretty good on a late model and all that. Like I said, I'm gonna help him this week, and we should do it tomorrow and figure it out. Me and AJ and have our guys do it because if you guys put a session up, like I said, I haven't even jumped in yet. I've been
mm.
so busy working on our backup car right now, getting it ready for my grandpa's big race. 2 more months.
What's in for, man? Hopefully you don't run as well as you did tonight, like I always say, since we're competitors on Sunday. But I always have a good time battling with you. Well, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out before we let you get out of here?
Yeah, because I figured out I learned a little bit of something. I was trying to get by Brandon early, but I just couldn't. The tires weren't warmed up enough. But I gotta thank my VMS guys, my Stinger guys, just all the guys that help. But yeah, I just need to get one more spot. I'll get it soon. It's close.
Well, you got to get hot at the right time. Seems like that's what the 42's been doing, and hopefully you'll be able to do that too. And be it's going to be a good battle for the championship. I think you two are definitely the favorites right now. So go get them next week, man.
Yep. Well, I'll be good again. Thank you. And thank you guys for putting it on so I can watch it later.
Yes, sir, and absolutely. Have a good night. We'll see you at Auto Club next week.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Yes, sir. Auto Club, going from a short track to a 2-mile fictional track, if you will. But
Too soon. Too soon.
too soon. All right, here we go. For the 4th time in 5 weeks, we're going to load up the victory lane scene for none other than this guy who, as of August 14th, decided to make PSRA the John Freeman Racing Alliance. John, what's going on? Last 4 of the 5 races belong to you, man.
Yeah, man. Sorry I let y'all down last week. Only P2 at Dega. Rough finish for me, honestly. I let y'all down, and y'all know y'all said I had to win 4 in a row, and I couldn't quite do it.
Well, you made it up here. The only lead change was underneath the first caution, so if it wasn't for that caution, you would have led every single lap. How much time did you put into this thing, or did you just really love this track?
Well, I don't live there anymore, but Richmond is my home track. I grew up around it. So I pride myself on being better there than I used to be. I used to be very terrible, but me and Schumann actually ran a truck race here, open sets, about a month ago, and I kind of just clicked with me with a lot of practice. I ended up winning that one with like 138 of 170 laps led, and
Okay.
something there just kind of clicked with me. So I kind of took the same, stuff in here, ran it the same way. I got about 25 laps 125 lap run in for practice and felt pretty confident in the vehicle. I knew if I could just pace myself and qualify up for run, it'd be hard for anyone to really stay with me on the longer runs. I know Bigley's pretty good at long runs, but I was just kind of chilling there at the end. And you mentioned those couple laps I didn't lead because someone stayed under the cautions. And the famous words of Joey Logano, I led all but like 2 laps. Those laps don't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to him. He's like, as long as I get the checker flag, be good, man. Well, it seems like Richmond's your home, Mr. Colt. Do you have anything for your race winner?
Oh, and definitely been pretty boring to watch you lead. We didn't see a whole lot of you just because we kept cutting away to the other battles. But congratulations tonight. Definitely, you were the class of the field by far. So I've got you going to the final 4. So don't let me down. You haven't yet since Watkins Glen. So don't let me down, man.
Here we go. Watkins Glen. Yeah, just hey, everyone tuning in, make sure to watch the restarts because there's always an opportunity on Money Shift. So it's never over till it's over.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, any final shout outs before we do let you go?
Yeah, Wheels on Wheels like always. Premier Racing Setups. Brandon Schumann on another great run. Good job, teammate. Andrew Nagy, Glenn Grimm, Brennan Polt, James Morris, everyone back at the shop. Again, you as always, thank you for showing up and putting on a great broadcast. And I actually enjoyed racing y'all last week at Dega. Y'all were in really clean but also aggressive, so that was fun. Appreciate y'all joining the field, and everybody have a good night, I guess. Oh, and also, shout out to Mr. Ryan Schumann for making such a handsome son. Okay. All right,
Look at
guys. Have
that.
a wonderful night.
Look at that. What a shout out, man. Congrats, dude. We'll see you next week at Auto Club. Anisha Freeman, and then give a shout out to Brandon's father. Look at that. That's a first timer there. But Colt, what do we expect for the race number 2? We've talked about Richmond, how that went. Do we expect a very clean 2-mile race? 60 laps, by the way, there. So expect 1 to 2 green flag pit stops and a relatively short race.
I expect a very, very aggressive California race because most of our preseason testing, most of the series recruitment races were run at Michigan, and they were run at Auto Club, and Auto Club was arguably the better track, and more people showed up to it. These guys have notes. These guys have run a lot of laps. We did a lot of testing. That was our preseason thunder. We spent weeks at California at Auto Club, and so I expect these guys to go out. They're going to be 3, 4, 5 wide sometimes, and then they're going to funnel out of the corner and be single file again, and then they're going to go in and be 3, 4, 5 wide again. And I think they're going to be able to take care of their stuff. I do think that there's going to be some pressure for the guys at the back half of this, the bottom four, if you will. They're going to be up there trying to get points, and shout out to Josh Ingram. He was the one who stayed out, and he didn't have a great finish tonight. He got caught up in some stuff, but he is 7th right now with those bonus points that he got, and so that was good on him. He led a couple of laps under caution and was able to move up in the safe zone. I mean, he's battling with Chase Rockford for that transfer spot. So we'll see how desperate some of these guys get to transfer into the next round.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Puts on a great race typically with any car that you throw at it. So looking forward to that. Catch it next week live, same place, same time, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. We'll go live and call it 60 laps there. And tune in as well on Sundays. We call the Global Racing League Truck Series playoffs as they continue their venture through that. So we're down to 2 nights, Thursday night and Sunday night. So that's at 8 p.m. on Sunday. 7 p.m. on Sundays and 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Until then, you guys stay safe, get your nerd on. And it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. We'll see you then.
Back when nothing truly mattered.